Hey, behave. Yes. I have no territorial squabbling. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Go back to your own corners of the tank. Silly Shelly Dwellies. Shall we get this thing started then? Is that why you're grumpy? Is it? Is it because I sat here and I'm not chatting? Yeah? Okie dokie. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Hello, 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 hello. Greetings, salutations, willkommen, ahoy, all the other. Yeah, we know that one by now. We know how we start. As we mean to go on, randomly and waffly and rambly. How is everybody who's not here at the moment? As per usual, I'm a bit late. Well, actually, I'm on time for once. Late setting the stream up, obviously, because, reasons. Let's just hope HMS Craptop doesn't do anything silly this week and decide, oh no, I need to shut down and do an update in the middle of your stream because reasons. I don't know. I have no idea what these machines think they're doing. So even when you tell them not to do it, they still do it. I guess it's like you set it to not to do it, and then as soon as it has an update, which you might not even notice happening, it turns that setting straight back off again. Although, why it waits till you've had the computer on for the best part of an hour before it decides it's going to do anything, by which point you're out like over half an hour into a live stream. Beyond me. Anyway, hello replay crew also, as there's no one actually here yet to say hello to. I shall say hello to the people who might be catching up later in the day or week or whatever. I know there's at least a couple that do. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, so what to talk about to absolutely nobody. To be honest, I haven't really got much to say this week. I've not really been up to much. Work and water changes is pretty much it. And research and more forward planning for the bike ride in a couple of weeks. It's getting scarily close now. And the annoying thing is, the wrong side, ash. Due to the unique way the British weather has been this last 6 months, despite the fact that we are in the middle of spring and it should be rather nice, well, it's been sunny and dry. We just had really strong winds for the last 2.5 weeks. Basically, ever since Easter, it's been windy every day. And I think the one time the wind did drop, I was at work, so yay. So I've not been on any training rides, so we've not got many miles under the legs yet this year, so we could start having issues trying to do 100 mile, but cross fingers that this week we get some semi-decent weather on Wednesday and I can actually get my butt out there and pound 20 or 30 miles out and see how I feel afterwards. Because if I do 35 miles, that's half of what I'm aiming to do the first day of the ride. I want to get way over halfway the first day so that the second day is a lot easier. Oh, we had a couple of people turn up and leave. I must have already upset people. Wouldn't be the first time. Probably just some random going, oh, someone's live. Click. Oh, they're smoking. They're not playing computer games. They're not young and attractive. Here's the thing. I mean, just statistically speaking, there are more older people than there are younger people, and there are more less attractive people than there are attractive people. So yeah, deal with that. And hell, some of them are celebrities. There we go. Cracking a tinny. Howdy, Linkbot. It's good when you do a stream and the only person that turns up is a bot. Cheers, Linkbot. At least I'm not alone. There's a computer that likes me. Well, there's a program that's been programmed to like me anyway. Some days that's all you can get, and that's what you got to take. So I'm presuming there's probably someone else streaming at the moment, which is why we're completely dead. So I'm just going to try and randomly waffle and fill time until people start to actually turn up, and hope they do. There's nobody here by about half an hour, then we will say hi. Yeah, even I can't talk to myself for 2 hours. Well, I probably can, but no one would want to listen to what I was talking about because it gets real weird real fast and real ranty. Speaking of which, I know I did warn in this week's video that there will be more bikey content coming up soon because of the bike ride, obviously. I think I might be doing a bike rant video. That may well get me some hate if it gets seen anywhere. I will just be telling the truth from my point of view, and if people don't like it, well, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one, and they all stink. Or opinions are like buttholes. Everyone got one, and no one wants to hear them, especially if they don't agree with your own. So it's because the bike industry is apparently in crisis and peril, and all these manufacturers are going, oh, we're broke, we're going bankrupt. And they can't seem to figure out why. And I'm thinking the solution is fairly simple. It's not that hard. Stop trying to sell people bikes that cost tens and thousands and tens of thousands of pounds or dollars. Stop trying to sell people bikes that are £300, £400, £500. More of them, trust me. Because not everyone wants a super sleek aero carbon race bike with the latest grundle flap and whirligig and thingamy-bob. Some people just want a bike that's going to go A to B in relative comfort, with mud guards to keep the muck off you, the rack to put stuff on, or a basket. Yeah, those kind of things. Yeah. Oh, but you got to have this. No, you don't. Yes, disc brakes can stop you quicker. Yes. But if your cable-operated rim brakes are powerful enough to lock up the front and back wheel at the same time, you don't need hydraulic disc brakes. You can lock your wheels up. A more powerful brake is just going to lock them up quicker and harder. And locked wheels means skiddy skiddy. Well, skiddy skiddies can be fun. If you don't know what you're doing, they can be painful and dangerous as well, especially if you do it with the front wheel. You either go wee or kerflump and eat tarmac, neither of which anyone wants. Right, so that'll be for 10 minutes. So yeah, that's basically going to be the subject of a rant video. Never know, it might get some bike people to watch. Yeah, I'm not cool enough, and I'm not skinny, and I don't wear lycra. He says, looking down, wearing t-shirt, slippers, and lounge shorts. Yeah, I've upgraded. Got myself a pair of lounge shorts, just mostly for something to wear when I get set up for camp, when I go on the ride. So I don't have to spend the night in the same sweaty, nasty, manky stuff I've been cycling in all day. I can have the joy of putting that back on again in the morning. Yeah, to anyone I might encounter on the second day, I do apologise for the smell. There will be a day's worth of sweat and gunk and grime that has festered overnight and matured. So yeah, day 2 I'm not going to smell particularly good, but you know what? Who cares? Really doesn't matter. Far more important things in life to worry about. You know, than whether some random stranger in a shop goes, "That man smells." Yeah, there's a reason I do. Because I've been sweating a lot, and I haven't had access to a bath or a shower. Most I've had access to is a wet wipe, and that was mostly just to get dirt off, and so I don't get the inside of my sleeping bag filthy. Something I noticed when I cycled the Marriott's way was, yeah, the state my legs got. Sweaty plus dusty equals dust sticking to sweaty legs. I basically changed race. Yeah, so wet wipe, good for getting the gunk off. Not necessarily so good for having a full wash or shower. And no, I'm not going to be taking deodorant with me just in case, because it's extra weight I've got to carry. I'll be taking stuff that is useful. Now, there will be a first aid kit. There will be some sun cream and some white cream and Sudocrem and stuff like that, and bug spray or insect repellent. Sorry, stuff that is actually useful and will either keep me safer or help me be healthier if I do have an accident. Not worrying about whether I smell a bit. And if anyone goes, "Oh, you stink," I'll be able to go, "Yeah, that's because I've just cycled 70 X miles and I'm a bit sweaty and I slept outside overnight. So, what do you reckon?" There we go. We're getting towards 15 minutes. We've had a couple of people flash in and out, but I must have upset people last week when my computer died. Never mind. If nobody's here in the next quarter of an hour, then yeah, I'll go off and do other things, I guess. Might even start my water changes. No, that's not happening. Yeah, so fishy wise, what's been going on? Not a lot. Everyone's doing okay. Did lose a Shelley earlier this week. The Amica Splendens I still haven't taken out of their QT tank because time, busy stuff. Pippa's enjoying her walks in the morning. She gets very excited, bless her. And the cats are getting more and more friendly. So Ginger is already quite friendly, but Pumpkin's a scaredy cat. Like what you saw, make it official, like and subscribe. Yeah, that's not really going to work, Linkbot. There ain't nobody here. I'm just sat here talking to myself again. Every streamer's worst nightmare. Hey ho. Yeah, maybe I got one of the settings wrong or something, and it's only letting members in or something like that. I don't even know if I can change that now. Is there a settings option that I can change things on the fly? Stream. You don't have access to this feature. Manage. No, pop out dashboard. What does that do? Yeah, we're not going to bother with that because it appears to be doing. Yeah, so we'll leave things as they are. Yeah. So there we go. Fish are all doing okay. There were considerably fewer shrimp this week in the filters when I cleaned them out from both shrimp tanks. So we only added about another half a dozen to that one. There's probably about 100 shrimp in there by now. Most of them that go in there are tiny, so can't really see them, but I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 just sitting there already, so we're good. So yeah, that one's working out well. An excess shrimp colony. It keeps the tank cycled and so, and it's some shrimp, so if something goes wrong with one of the other tanks, I don't suddenly lose all my shrimp, just most of them. And that reminds me, I do have to get some fish to put into my shrimp tank. Because I find shrimp tanks always do better when they've got fishy friends in there. Ooh, what am I getting bleeped out about? Is that just Mary got home? Let's see. Bleep, 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 doo, doo. Doo, doo, doo. Yes, that was. Ooh, yeah, so there we go. What else can I waffle about for another 10 minutes just in case nobody else turns up? So I'm guessing there's either somebody else streaming or there's something big going on, or I've just upset everyone and nobody wants to watch me anymore. One of those must apply. Pardon me. Oh, and again. Ooh, that's that egg mayonnaise I've been eating. So yes, add some fishy friends to my main shrimp tank. Not sure what yet. We'll see. Something nano for sure, because it's only a 34-litre tank, so you can't put much in there. And it's got to be obviously something that doesn't eat shrimp. Yes, I know most fish will eat shrimp, given half a chance, but you get little fish, then they can only eat little shrimp. The pygmy cories didn't do too great, so maybe some ember tetras or CPDs, something like that, probably. Not that the CPDs did much better. Well, a few of them lasted for quite a while. Pygmy cories didn't do great, but then again, that's probably my water rather than anything else. I know I could always just lob a bristlenose in there, but don't really want to be up in the bioload of that tank quite that much. That filter gets manky enough as it is with just shrimp and snails in there. So then we're looking for the extras to go into the other flex. So still thinking possibly some cherry barbs in there. Something similar. So what else can we waffle about? Work is work. That all appears to be going fairly well. I'm not getting in trouble for anything, so yay. Mary is well and happy and healthy. So the kids. Cats and dogs are. Garden's gone mental again. Latte is happy and healthy. Bunny. I am your bunny. You listen to me. Sorry. That song just got stuck in my head. It's not gone away, and it's been a few weeks now. What else we got? What's been going on? Yeah, so this week's video, I just did a quick update on the tanks, what's going on, which admittedly isn't a huge amount, but I think that's just that time of year where fish aren't really breeding that much or doing the things. At least nothing's dying anyway. Oh, pardon me again. All these people not here and they're missing me with a dose of wind. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the extent of the week. Mostly been watching random sort of bikey and fishy and outdoorsy type content. The occasional Karen type video and serial killer videos as well. True crime, let's call it true crime videos, because not all of it was serial killers. We have someone here. Is it just Linkbot again? If you're a human, please say so. You've got like 6 minutes to say so, because if people don't start turning up, I'm turning off. I'm assuming there's something else going on in the world that is probably a bigger person is streaming. Big famous fishy person. Yeah, I've not really got a lot else going on. As I said, yeah, the content maybe for the next few weeks or so might mostly be bike based from the ride. There'll be this is what I'm taking and why. This is the route I'm doing. I still don't know why. just because I can, I think, and because I want to, just to prove it to myself more than anything, so I can say, yeah, I did that. Then there'll be probably quite a few shorts filmed along the way, and then if I can make the GoPro do what it's meant to do and do time lapse, I may well see if I can do time lapse of the whole ride. Yeah, that might be an interesting one. And there'll be a video from camp, possibly one from the next morning, and me going, and then once I've recovered, how I felt the ride went and what I enjoyed, what I didn't enjoy, that kind of thing. If you're riding 100 miles, you're going to take advantage. You're going to get as much content from it as you can. I'm trying to, I think, the last time I went to the seaside, even just to the beach, just to the seaside, was probably 5 years ago. So I've not seen the sea for 5 years. Not that you're missing much, it's a big expanse of water, and sand is annoying. So we get there, go, yay, I'm here, I made it. Do the obligatory picture showing the sign going, and then turn around and come back after some chips, hopefully. Hello, Debs. Nice to know not everyone's abandoning me. Big hug, extra big hug. Being the first person here after 27 minutes. And now the camera's decided to focus where my hands were when I went to give you a hug. Technical idiocies. There we go. I've got the light on. So I've just been talking to myself for the last 27 minutes, Deb. So how are you, my dear? Hope all is well. I'm presuming there's someone else is streaming or something. Mikey B still on. That might be it. So I have literally just been sat here talking to myself, and I had said if I get to half an hour and nobody's here, I'm going to turn off. So I can't, I suppose. Just has to be me and you have a chat then, won't it, Debs? Huh? I've just been rambling on about what I've been up to, what's coming up, that kind of thing. Last week of work to your holiday. Woohoo! I've got 2 weeks of work till my holiday. Hopefully I don't spend most of it in pain afterwards, but we shall see. No matter what. I'll do the 2-day bike ride, and then the next day I've got to walk next door's dog anyway, so that'll be interesting. Going for a walk after that. I know she doesn't have massively long walks. She's only a Lhasa, for crying out loud. So it's not like we're walking for miles and miles. Usually around about a mile and a half each day. But I think that's going to be quite sore. Also depends how many flipping insects teeth in decide they want to try and eat me. Tommy, you spexy beast, you. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well and your family. As I say, literally I was about to go, you know what, F it, and turn off. People start turning up. So, yay, thank you very much. Um, so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Likey Rise Fishy Stuffs. And hopefully the weather does pick up next week. If not, I really hope it picks up for the start of May, because otherwise I'm going to be buggered. Smoking a baby brisket for tacos and pruning tomatoes. Andy Carson, just thought I'd see who is live to put on in the background while I'm working on stuff. Say hello. Hello, Andy. Good to see you. New peeps are always welcome. Don't even forget, click those buttony things and, well, actually, give it a bit. You might decide, who is this imbecile? I don't know. You might find me amusing or interesting. In that case, subscribe and like and all the good stuffs. He says, being the world's worst YouTuber ever. I'm the same in job interviews. Like, you're supposed to sell yourself in a job interview, and I suck at that. It's just lying, really. My natural state is to be self-deprecating. So when people are asking me questions like, so what do you think about yourself would make you, what could you bring to the role? I don't know. Someone who's willing to do that for that amount of money? Well, let's be honest, that's the truthful answer. So why do you, could you explain to us why you want to work for XYZ Corporation? I says, I really like your ethical blah 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 and your entire mission statement and brief. And I'm like, oh. No, I just want a job because I need to pay the bills. That's the main reason. And you're pretty close to home, so yeah, that's why. Because if I'm going to have to do something I don't really like doing, I'd rather not have to travel too far to do it. I'm the kind of person that would, if I was doing job interviews for interviewing people, and they started giving me all those BS answers, I'd be like, no, truthful. Tell me the truth. But no, not the rehearsed answer that you've been told to give. The answer that YouTube videos and things tell you to give to this question, and this will get you the job. No, be truthful. Actually, I probably wouldn't ask anything about the job. Because if you're interviewing someone, you've obviously looked through their CV, or they've passed some kind of pre-screening process. So technically, they should be capable of doing the job that you're interviewing for. So to me, the interview should be more about getting to know that person and whether that person is a good fit for your team. You know, because if you've got a whole bunch of wild extroverts who never shut up and it's absolute chaos and carnage all the time, someone who's quiet, meek, and introverted won't fit in very well. You know, someone who doesn't like swearing, for example. Yeah, that's how I got my sales job. Why do you want to be a car salesman? I want money and I want a lot of it. Exactly. You were honest. You told the truth. Plus, you know, you just turned up and smiled and you were hired, basically. Some of us can't get by on our looks. Some of us have to attempt to have a personality. Not saying that you don't. You definitely do have a personality, but you know what I mean. You're a good-looking dude. Yeah. I actually would hate to be doing job interviews because, well, I don't know, the sadistic part of me would probably enjoy it. There'd be that one where if you say you got 10 interviews for that day and the first person is like, yeah, they're perfect for the job. You've either then got to phone through the other 9 interviewees and go, yeah, really sorry, but we just found someone who's perfect for the job. Or you got to do the interviews and not make it obvious that they're not going to get the jobs. Labour jobs won't usually hire me because I'm a hand, even though I can build anything. It's weird finding a job that's out of my wheelhouse. And Laurie, hello, my dear. How are you? Long time no see. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's it. A complete random change of direction, and it's right up until I started working retail. I'd never worked retail, and for me, who really doesn't generally like being around people that much, I'm surprisingly good at it. I mean, I deserve a bloody Oscar some days. Um, some people do tend to test my patience rather. Had one customer I was dealing with for about 45 minutes, and in the end, they still didn't buy anything because I couldn't get it through to them that this 1970s bathroom lock they had, you can't buy spare parts for anymore. You buy a whole new lock. The lock is cheaper than the spare parts would have been. Ooh, got back from picking a 180-gallon tank. A small one for you then, Laurie. And what's going to be going in that? It's just about big enough for a better, isn't it? No, I knew it was going to be some absolute massive cichlids. Or it's a grow out tank for something else that's going to get massive. That's it. It's your Arapaima grow out tank. Yeah, I don't think I'd want a 180-gallon tank. It should be way too big for me. Because I still wouldn't want the monster fish. Because even if you do breed them, you can't sell them because they're too big. But 99% of people's tanks in the UK. Then got a phone call from a vessel we deal with asking if we could pick up 2 giant gouramis 2 feet long. I guess 180 gallon would just about house a pair of giant gouramis for a bit. Yeah, my LFS has got giant gouramis in at the moment for sales. Evening, Andrew. Been out flying the drone. You've been spying on people sunbathing in their back gardens again. Funny how the LFS calls us to pick up free fish. Yeah, I have a weird, for most people, relationship with my LFS as well. In this country, well, no, you are up north, so you northerners are a hardy bunch. I can guarantee you, because it is actually sunny out there. If you can get out of the wind, it's actually quite pleasant. So, guarantee you, there's someone sunbathing in their back garden somewhere. Whether you want to see them in a bikini is another matter. Or less. Yeah, so I've had calls from my LFS about Just got some of these in. Are you interested? Or have you got tank space for such and such? Or have you got any of these? We've run out. We need more. Usually bristle noses. It's like, yep. Send someone by on their way to work tomorrow. Dixon Designs. Hello, welcome aboard. Always good to see new names in the fold. Hopefully someone's pre-warned you about me. Because I'm fairly busy these days. I'm having a job now. I don't get to, having 4 jobs technically. I don't get to hang out in as many streams as I'd like. So newer people aren't used to me or my sense of humour. I do tend to be a bit risque, I think they put it. A bit crude, sarcastic, cynical, grumpy. But that's just me. We can't all be massively enthused and super positive about everything all the time. I tend not to do that ever. Oh, old fart. Yeah, we do old farts and old crankies here. Grumpy old people. We all like a good moan. Whereas about the weather, young people, politics, although we do try and avoid that because that does tend to upset people. There's basically 3 things I try not to talk about: politics, religion, and firearms laws. Oh yeah, I do give out cuddles. Sorry, Andy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I do tend to just cuddle the women generally. Tommy as well. Yeah, Tommy didn't get a hug. Yeah, I'm just a tart. What can I say? I'm a hug monster. Although, just even that, you have to be a bit careful these days because, you know. Oh, Juanita. Hello. In that case, you can have a hug as well. There we are. But yeah, let's see. I've not heard of anyone getting in trouble for giving e-hugs or air hugs over the internet. It's only a matter of time before someone goes, and Andy as well. There we go. It's hugs all around. Big group hug. But yeah, definitely in person. You have to be very careful these days about who you hug. Even people who hug you back. Because they can then use it against you and go, you hugged me and I didn't want it. Or you hugged me back. I felt I had to. You could just say no, or please don't hug me, I don't like it. It's quite easy, If you communicate with people, you'll find them a lot more understanding. And it will cause a lot less grief and hassle in the long run than reporting them for it. I just say this as a grumpy old man. Thankfully, the people I work with now all seem to be above board with these things. They understand that just because I might give them a hug, it doesn't mean I'm trying to get into their pants. I'm in a long-term relationship, a 7+ years relationship, so I'm not looking to screw that up. But if someone looks like they need a hug, you know, it's just, it's bad enough as a man or a male, even just now, where if there's a lost or injured child, you can't just go over and help. Admittedly, like probably 95% of parents will be absolutely thrilled that someone found and looked after their child or cared for it, did these things. But there's always that possibility that someone's going to call the police. And even if you've done nothing wrong, it'll still drag your name through the mud. Thank you very much about the plants. Oh, don't worry, Andy, I'm horrific with names as well. And part of my job is names. Thank you very much. Just a fairly bog standard selection of crits, some Anubias, bit of Val, some accidental moss, a couple of electric blue Acaras, a few Limia, a couple of bristle noses, some Corys hiding up somewhere, and black neon. I often joke that I like working retail because everyone wears name badges. Because I forget names that easily. I'll remember the face, but I can't remember the name that goes with the face. And there are customers I see 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. I can't remember their bloody names. Should we have a bit of a look around at some tankies? Let's grab the camera. Let's mess up the focus. So here we have the Shelly Gwelly tank, the Neolampologus similis. Yes, I need to clean the glass again. A whole bunch of gorgeous Shelly Dwellies in there. Common bristle noses and pink and blue ramshorns. Oh, come on, Sharpe, get the camera straight. Super red bristle noses, pink and blue ramshorns. More common bristle noses. We can get a bit closer to that one. Common bristle noses, super red bristle noses, and an odd Limia that managed to jump from one tank to the next. Limia Perugiae that are just in there because they're in there. Trio of Amicus Splendens that are due to come out of quarantine. I just haven't got around to moving them yet. With just some more cuts of Anubias. For some reason, Anubias goes mental in my tanks. And then, oh, there's Bert. Hello, Bert. There's Ernie. Fast asleep. And a whole bunch of Limia. As far as I can see. And then, yeah, breeder box full of more baby bristle noses. I'm just checking that Bert is still breathing. Yes. And sometimes they sleep in weird positions and scare the pants off me. Oh, there he is. There's Spotty, Daddy Bristlenose. Yeah, the more you look, the more bloody limby you see. Yeah, so much for a semi-endangered species, huh? Down there is the overflow shrimp tank. Careful where we're pointing the camera. In there is where the Amica Splendids are going to go. One over there, it's got Super Reds and Pelvic Acromis. And over there is one with the Nanacara, and next to that, which you can't see, is Shrimp Tank. So yeah, just a few shrimpies, just a few fishilies. And that's why I take a day to do my water changes. Mostly because I can do it in a few hours quite easily, but I like to take my time over it a bit and learn about my tanks, as it were. The longer you spend looking all with your hands in them, the better. Yeah, they all get a water change and a filter clean once a week minimum. Some of those will get it twice a week, depending on how many are in there, what size, and how nasty they look. And whether the filters have all clagged solid again in 3 or 4 days, like they do sometimes. And sometimes enough pleco poop usually that clags the filters up in 2 or 3 days. But because we're getting the numbers down now, and hopefully next weekend we should be getting rid of more, we should hopefully have a couple of empty tanks. When you get to my age, you forget which dinosaur is your pet one. I'm not going to make any wife jokes, because that'll get both of us in trouble, and I don't want to upset Donna. I'll give you a clue. The pet dinosaur is the one that doesn't try and rip your arm off. It's the one that just flares its feathers at you. Yeah. You knew I had to go there with the dinosaur joke. And apparently when I was younger, I think one of my birthdays, when I was like 5 or 6 or something like that, apparently I actually said to my mum, "Mum, what was it like when you were young and the dinosaurs were still around?" Bearing in mind my mother wouldn't have even been 30 by then. I mean, she's a dinosaur now, obviously. Not that I ever see them. I did get a letter from my dad this week. I just got to figure out if I want to respond and how. Do I send a letter back? Do I send an email? Yeah, because there's stuff going on. They split up and divorced, and now they're trying to play me in the middle of it and play favourites. But you do realise I don't like either of you. You move to this side of the country, you put me in foster care, and then you move to the other side of the country. Don't want to be sending a letter with dodgy postage stamps. Yeah, true. Willie, how you doing? Oh, Mum could not take a joke. Still can't. I got an absolute whack around the head for that one, I'm pretty sure. I don't recall it, but given that I said far less cheeky things and got a good whack for it, I'm pretty sure I would have got a smack around the back of the head for that one. Whether it was my birthday or not. Um, Good to see you, Willie, my old mate. How are you? Oh, that changed decades ago. I've not seen my parents for 30 years. Yeah, not that long. So I did go to Uncle John's wedding. So I'm in 20s. Yeah, I've definitely not seen him for 20 years. Um, Long may it continue as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, they split up. They got divorced and trying to play me in the middle. And, no, don't care. Just don't spend all my inheritance. Although if they're separated, which they are now living separately, I might inherit two houses. Well, that'd be worth it. As long as I don't inherit two houses that have still got a whacking great mortgage on them, I'll be all right. Although, if I did inherit two houses, would I sell them or would I just rent them out? Like, let a rental company do it. But you take care of everything. Just send me the money every month. Uh, that might be better than just selling the houses. Probably cost me less. Um, that's the thing, is it costs you money to sell a house. You obviously the estate agents want money to advertise your house and to show people around it. All in there. Don't worry. Still got me and the rest of the gang. Exactly. As long as I got Willie, I know I'm okay. Um, when I lose Willie, I'll be in trouble. I'll really, really be old then. Um, yeah. But again, that's something else I've learned over the years. When you move on, don't burn the bridges. Leave things on good terms because you never know when you might want to or need to go back. I've got to admit, it's mostly through watching other people burn their bridges and then realize how screwed they got. Um, yeah, don't burn bridges unless you're absolutely 100% sure you're not going to need to go back, or you're not going to rejoin a hobby or something like that. All you do is give yourself a bad name. My name's bad enough as it is. Um, I'm pretty sure if I started doing the scale modelling again more, I actually started doing it and maybe popping out the occasional video, I'm pretty sure that my scale modelling buddies would probably still come back. I didn't. There were a couple of people I upset. Well, probably quite a few, but the ones that I did have fallings out with were for very good reasons. Um, I'm pretty sure you know who they were, Willie. Yeah, I left most of it on good terms. I just upset people by being me, really. That's by not taking things too seriously. Although there was that one guy when I painted or built and painted the Hawker, was it Hawker Hunter? Revell 48 scale? Can't remember. But I did the prototype colour scheme. Prototype or experimental. It was red, white, and not silver. Not their aluminium, whatever the RAF called that silver paint they used. High speed silver, that was it. UV, exactly. If you're yourself, then people like you for you. They're not liking the person you're pretending to be, is the way I see it. But yeah, so I painted it in the prototype or experimental colour scheme, and I had someone come and tell me that I'd painted it the wrong colours, and I should have painted it this colour, because he had a picture in a book that showed that plane. The picture in said book was a hand-drawn, hand-coloured picture of said plane. I had actually, the reason I chose to paint that plane in that scheme was I'd recently been to a museum which had that exact plane in it. And I had taken photographs of said plane. I don't just mean same type of plane, I mean that plane, same numbers, etc. And he wouldn't believe me because his ye olde book from the 70s, it was all hand drawn and hand coloured. The fact that I had pictures of the actual plane, I was still wrong, because this book was apparently, almost biblically correct. He got very upset with me. Exactly, I made them for fun and enjoyment. I mean, who else would buy what was at the time a fairly expensive kit of a King Tiger? Was it King Tiger? No, it was a Panzer II, wasn't it? Something like that. Anyway, yeah, Panzer II. Sorry, Panther II. They're German, it doesn't really matter. But I built it and I painted it hot pink. Put like 183mm gun on that was supposed to go on to a different version of. Said they use the same gun sprue for about half a dozen different tanks. Yeah, painted it pink. Did the tracks basically chromed and put big Russian stars on it. Oh, that upset people. I mean, I was expecting people to get upset about A being pink, B having Russian markings on it. But I didn't expect the most upset person to be because I'd put the wrong gun on it. I was like, seriously? Yeah, I know you didn't. You saw the joke. You got the joke because you know how I am with German tanks. If you're not in the know of the modelling world, German World War II tanks are considered sort of sacrosanct. You have to use the exact perfect colour, and it has to be exact for that exact tank at the exact period of time. Another reason I prefer doing Russian tanks is you just paint them green. The Russians just used green paint. They weren't worried about shades or anything like that. They understood that green paint is good enough. Yeah, it's got to be the correct colour mud as well. Has to be no tank would ever rust like that. There would never be rust on it. You show them steel that got wet a few hours ago, and the fact it's already got a layer of rust on it. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. tanks get scratched. They tend to drive through things like hedges and ditches and rough countryside, so they get scratched, and they're made out of steel, and steel rusts almost instantly. So yeah, they get upset about that. But, you know, that was my thing, was just upsetting people like that. Not upsetting them, but trying to show, you know, it's just a model kit. It's just for fun. Not every model you build has to be a historical monument. Then there were the guys who got upset when I got the Battlestar Galactica models and did them different. You know, added extra guns and missiles and wings and painted them in funky colour schemes. No, not allowed to do that. You can't paint that with what was it? It was the Battlestar Galactica Viper. I did it in various candy colours, like purples and reds. Added a whole bunch of extra guns and gubbins to it and improved it massively. I mean, there was a lot of actual modelling went in. No, carry on, Willie, if no one else is talking. Yeah, so I added a whole load of extra detail to it, and not as simple as just gluing something on. It's, you know, making it fit and blending it in so it looks like it should be there. No, people got upset because I destroyed their beloved Battlestar Galactica ship thingy. In the modelling world, there are very few things I would hold as sacrosanct. Something that was historically important. So if I built a model of HMS Warspite, for example, I would make sure that was correct. Or Bismarck, I'd do that correctly. But if I was doing Tirpitz, I'd have fun, because Tirpitz didn't do anything. It just got bombed a bit in German harbour, so they moved it into a Norwegian fjord, and then it got bombed a lot more. Yeah, that was a great use of however many million marks it cost to build a 45,000 ton battleship and crew it with 2,500 people. Just to have it sit in harbour because you're scared about it getting shot at. G'day, Ellie. How you doing, me darling? I hope all is well with you. I know you don't like hugs, but yeah, have a hug. How's everything down under? And that wasn't meant to sound as perverted as it did. Although if you want to tell me about that, feel free. Finally got a couple of days off, and I thought, oh, bless you. You do work too hard. Yeah, exactly. It's about fun. As I said, yeah. Any hobby I do it because I enjoy it. Whether it was modelling, fishing, keeping fish, cycling, scratching me butt. I mean, yeah, I'd probably do that often enough for it to be considered a hobby. Burping. It's just how I am. No, I do it because I enjoy it. When it stops being fun, I stop doing it. It's that simple. You know, I stopped. So I wouldn't say I stopped. I just lost the enjoyment for building models because I've done it so much, and as Willie can attest, I tend to build very quickly and paint very quickly. So yeah, becomes a production line, and after a while you just grind to a halt and don't enjoy what you're doing anymore, so you move on to another hobby. Yeah, exactly. Whoever keeps a hobby they don't like. There are apparently quite a lot of cyclists. That's probably because the amount of money they've spent, and they don't want to admit that they've spent a fortune on something they don't really enjoy it. But yeah, as I was, they'll have far too many hobbies like me. You never have too many hobbies. Admittedly, if said hobbies take a lot of time to do, that can be an issue. But I tend to stick to one or maybe two at a time. Then I think what happens is I generally get to a point where I'm not going to get any better at what I'm doing, or to get better is going to take a heck of a lot more work, money, and time. With the fishing, I was like, yeah, there's only a certain amount of lakes and stuff I can get to, and I nailed them. Basically, I could read the water, knew where the fish were going to be, knew what they were going to feed on, knew what presentation was going to work, what bait was going to work. So I wasn't going fishing, I was going catching. Believe it or not, that can be a pain in the hole after a while. So I got as good as I was going to get at that. Then I switched back into the modelling. I mean, most of these are hobbies that I've done earlier in my life. So I fished as a kid, built models as a kid, been around fish tanks as a kid, rode a bike as a kid a lot, you know, like we all did. Not made a model in the last 4 years. That's going to miss you and the rest of us at the bench since you left with your sarcasm. Oh, we were all fairly sarcastic, let's be honest. Yeah, I think kind of happened is, and it weren't that sort of anyone fell out as such. It was more, you know, we all had lives, and none of us, you know, going to hang out fine, but the show doing that live show became like a job to some of us. And I was coming home from work on a Friday night, having a quick bite to eat and rushing upstairs to get everything set up to do the show. And then it'd go on till like 11 o'clock at night. And I'd be absolutely shattered the next day. And chances are I had to work the next day as well, working retail. And yeah, I mean, I say a lot of it. So it just kind of worked that people either went away from modelling, or life got in the way, or it just became more of a chore than anything to do it. That's why I stepped down, is because I changed jobs basically, and I was working Friday nights, so I couldn't do it. The odd Friday night I did have off, I'd join in, and I'd have missed a good few weeks, so I wouldn't be in on all the latest in jokes and banter that was going on, and the things I would have done had been taken over by other people, so I was just basically sitting there. Yeah. Although, you know, it's from doing that live show that I started my channel. So I'm not going to knock it. It got me started in YouTube. Not necessarily the way most people get started in YouTube, because I had subscribers before I had content, quite a lot. I'll say quite a lot, you know. I think I get to like 30 or 50 subscribers, and I was like, I really should do a video of some description. And that's how it started. And then I gradually moved on. I mean, if I'd have stuck and was still doing the modelling and just doing the modelling content, yeah, I'd have had a lot more subscribers by now. Same as if it was just fish content on the channel, I'd probably have a lot more subscribers by now. But it seems that every time I put out a video that is not of the thing that I'm known for at the time, I lose subs and the views drop, then gradually picks back up again. Then I do something different again and flump. Can't see me as a model. Nah. I mean, I could be a leg model as long as it's in like something that actually covers your legs up, because the amount of scars on them. But that's about it. Yeah, yeah. I used to be in all the chats, and it's not because I've fallen out with anyone. It's literally I'm either busy, occupied, or shattered. Graham's stream and Andrew's stream are literally just after I get home from work. Pardon me. And the ones during the day, I'm either doing something else or I'm at work. When I get the opportunity, I'll still join in. Provided I remember. Last time I had a Saturday off, I was like, yes, I've got a Saturday off. I can join Andrew's stream. I think it might have been another Saturday. Yeah, it was when I had my week off. I was like, yes, I can join Andrew's stream. Yeah. Get all ready to go. Yeah, we're ready. Right, I've got snacks, got drink, got everything ready. Blah, blah, blah. It's time to stream. Oh, he's on holiday in Turkey this week. Bugger. So wrecked half the time, don't have the energy to jump in, might say hello, that's about it. Yeah, I entirely get that. Howdy, Ricky, how you doing? I always want to say Ricky Tiki Tavi, but I don't know how many people would get that and whether that is technically offensive. Jungle Book Ricky Tiki Tavi, the mongoose. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's offensive or not. It's not meant to be, but if it is, sorry. But yeah, I'm not just going to drop into a stream and say, hi, I'm here, bye. I'm going to hang out for a bit. And as I say, there are certain streams that I don't or won't join because I know my sense of humour won't go down very well. Or I don't even know if that person still streams or not because I'm blocked on their channel, they're blocked on mine. But a certain old fart who we really don't see eye to eye on anything, yeah, I'm just not going to join. And I'll let you figure out which old fart that is. Oh no, not the Hummer. Yes. Yeah, Adele knows which old person I'm talking about, that I don't see eye to eye on with anything. Not on fish keeping, not on religion, not on politics, not on gun laws, not on anything. Nah, it's not you, Andrew. No, someone with grey hair. You don't have grey hair. You don't have hair. Oh dear. I know I can't really joke. Mine's rapidly vanishing. We've got a few new bottles today. Finally, my studio will be ready by Friday. I'm getting booze and tobacco to stock the studio with. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Don't have hair. Can't be accused of having grey hair if you don't have hair, can you? Yeah, exactly. Although I literally do just have two dark patches in my beard there and there now for some random reason. So if you want to give me a Hummer, oh no, not the human. Yes, exactly. Don't do a Graham. Yeah. It might be an idea to put a disclaimer in there, Ricky, that maybe an 18 plus disclaimer. This video is not for teenagers or underage people. Oh, did Graham get a bit too tipsy, did he? Oh dear. And I bet the subtitles had real fun trying to translate Graham into English when he's drunk. It struggles badly at the best of times. I forget what it was he was talking about once, and it came up something about Saudis. I'm like, what? Now two old fingers don't work the same. I know that feeling. My eyes don't work the same. I would definitely need new glasses if I was going to start building models again. Now, things like fuselage halves or tank hulls, that'd be fine. Fell asleep streaming, video got took down. We've all fallen asleep in a live stream at some point. There's a 48-hour build that got done many years ago. I forget whether it was on Red Dragon Model Works or the Styrene Syndicate, one of the other. With Gill's channels anyway. And yeah, there were people falling asleep left, right, and centre because we'd been up for 48 hours, or were being up for 48 odd hours. I'd already done a day at work before I started it. So yeah, about 40 hours in, I started hallucinating. Not because I've been taking anything, but just pure tiredness. But thankfully, by then I'd actually finished my model, so it was like, right, I'm done. Here's my pictures. I've uploaded them. Yeah, I'm going to bed. Got the animals selected. I'll display in the studio, making the smoking room separately. Good idea. The last thing you want is all your animals being addicted to nicotine. I have had people say, "Oh, you shouldn't smoke in the same room with your fish tanks." That would be kind of difficult because they're kind of all throughout the downstairs of my house, and I'm not going upstairs every time I want a cigarette or outside. It's like it's my house, I own it, so it's not like I've got a rental agreement where I can't smoke indoors or anything. Yeah, I've not had any issues with it. The only issue I do get, and granted this is caused by fishing, chose the wrong hedgehog so I can climb walls. only you would have a mountaineering hedgehog. Mostly smoke outside here. Yeah, it's usually not freezing cold and raining though, is it, Adele? Let's be honest. Although if you go outside there, chances of some wild animal trying to unalive you considerably higher. Oh, see you later, Willie. Have a good one. Loves to the family. And look forward to seeing you again. Come on. Yeah, it's always good to catch up. Yeah, the only problem I do have is air pumps, because they have the little rubber flapper valves in them. Well, first of all, the little filtery pad things get absolutely clagged up with tar, nicotine, so I had to pull them out. Usually just replace them with a bit of floss, because I've looked and you can't buy those replacement little felt pads anywhere. Then let's say, yeah, the little flapper valves get coated in it as well. They stop flapping properly and they don't blow as much air through as they used to. Everyday escapes. The caretaker puts him back in the morning. He pulls everything that's on the floor and his inclusion. You got a little escape artist. Yeah. Yeah. Might be an escape artist, but definitely got a lot of character. The kind of pet I would like. Honestly, mental. Doesn't necessarily do what it's supposed to. So how he does it, he uses forelimbs and hind limbs from the corner and Spider-Man's out. You're going to need to put a lid on. Then you'll find him hanging from the lid in the morning upside down, just like, what? Yeah, I mean, I even end up with fish that don't do what they're supposed to do. You know, who else keeps dwarf cichlids with shrimp quite happily? Who else has problems with overstocked live bearers? Get it right. But has a pair of 6-inch cichlids in the tank that, for some reason, just aren't interested in eating baby fish. Mission Impossible, hedgehog style. Oh, what was the character's name in Mission Impossible? Ethan Hunt? Yeah, you're going to have to call the hedgehog Ethan. I nearly said Jack Reach Around, but that means something completely different. Bird that sleep on their backs. Yeah, I mean, my yo-yo loaches, I'll find them and they'll be just laying on the bottom of the tank on their side, but oh no, they're dead. And you walk up the tank, they don't move. Oh crud! Gentle tap on the glass, nothing. Lift the lid. As soon as your hand touches the water, oh god. Same with the bristle noses. If they fall asleep, like sucked onto the side of the glass or something, and they do the deep sleep, they either slide down or fall off and just end up laying on their back, and they don't wake up. They just keep sleeping on their back. So it's the same with Bert and Ernie. Some of the positions they go to sleep in. Oh, you're up and about again, are you? You had your sleepy time face down in the plants. Very blue over that side of the tank. I'm thinking maybe one of the LEDs might have gone out. Never mind. Oh, there he is. The rare spotting of the lone black neon. I think it's the only one in there. And all the adults seem to have died off. And then that one turned up. Yeah, it does look like one of the LEDs might have gone out on that light. There's angelfish sleeping on their sides. They're just getting ready, so you can just pick them up and put them on a cream cracker with a slice of cheese. That's why angelfish are that size and shape. They fit perfectly on a Jacob's cream cracker. Same with discus. The reason they're that size and shape, they fit beautifully in a sandwich. I can only count on my fishes not being weirdos. All the others are. Yeah, to be fair, it is most of my fish that are weird. My angels wouldn't fit on a cracker. Nah, just get a pair of scissors and chop the fins off. That fit perfect. Um, and well, you know they're a food source in South America. Discus stink, tried once, grilled with lime wedges. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's not that they're not exactly active, are they? So I mean, it must be quite tricky to tell when a discus has died because they don't move most of the time at all. Yeah, probably is the slime coat that smells weird. De-slime and scale. I mean, they're probably okay. I mean, I can guarantee you they get eaten in probably. Is it Brazil? They're Amazonian. I think they're Amazonian. Um, yeah, people in these parts of the world don't turn down food. And we know they eat plecos. If you want a crunchy fish, yeah, peacock bass tastes good, similar taste to barramundi. I've not eaten either, but they're predatory fish, so predatory whitefish, so they probably all taste pretty similar. So I'm not the person to ask about that because, as far as I'm aware, whitefish like cod or haddock or whatever doesn't have a flavour. Doesn't taste of anything to me. Barramundi is delicious, apparently. Take your word for that. We'll have to ask Mark because he is, after all, the Baron of Barras and the eater of yowies. And if you don't know what a yowie is, I suspect Adele does, but probably nobody else does. The yowie is basically Australia's Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, or Yeti, or whatever you want to call it. Whether it's a legend or it exists, who knows? There's no proof it doesn't exist. Yowies and bunyips, exactly. So you've got to stay out of the forest and you've got to stay out of the water holes, or the billabongs, I should say. I've tried a lot of ornamental fishes for purely experimental purposes. There is actually a club, and I can't remember the name of it. And their whole thing, I mean, now they put a lot of money in, right? So it's not a bad thing. But their thing is eating endangered species. Yeah, I know that sounds horrific and bad, but they put a lot of money back to whichever conservation effort is dealing with that species. So for the one or two that they take, more money goes back in. Yes, it's an English thing, and it's been around for centuries, probably by now. Probably back from the Empire. It was like, bring back things that we can eat. No, that's why the Galapagos turtle is nearly extinct. It's because the Royal Navy ate most of them. Yeah, they're slow, they're big, they're easy to care for, and they're tasty. How to join? I'm not even sure what it's called. If I can remember the name of it, then you'd be able to Google it. It is a club or group, whether it's official or unofficial or whatever. But yeah, they do that. And I know it's probably going to taste foul, but there is a part of me that really wants a panda burger. Because let's be honest, they're not conserving pandas in China. They're farming them. And they make a lot of money out of them. And you kind of have to farm pandas because they've evolved so that they can't really breed on their own. They need help. They find it very difficult to breed on their own. So yeah, most of the pandas are bred with the turkey baster method, as it were. And yeah, because they are literally being farmed, basically. I mean, it's what we would call a free range farm, grass fed. Well, bamboo fed. Well, bamboo's a kind of grass, so technically they are grass fed. Yeah, that's. And I say, the Chinese economy gets millions of dollars every, if not billions of dollars, from tourists going to see the pandas. They don't just give them to overseas zoos. They have to pay for them. It's a farm. I'm sorry, but if you're farming something, you can eat it. So yeah, up there on my bucket list. I know it's going to taste foul. This is going to be very fatty because, let's be honest, they don't do much exercise. They live off bamboo, which, let's be honest, hasn't got much flavour. So yeah, they're not going to taste great, but just say you've had a panda burger. I mean, I've had horse. Pretty much anyone living in the UK over the last 20 years has probably eaten horse at some point. Yeah, $4.5 million plus, and you show 1.8 million to feed them every year. Yeah, exactly. So the Chinese economy is making a lot of money out of pandas. I mean, not as much percentage-wise of their overall GDP as it used to be, given that basically they now supply most of the rest of the world with everything else. Yeah. Even something that says made in England or made in America or whatever is probably made in China. Well, the parts were made in China, it was just assembled. Yeah, exactly. It's a rental agreement. You rent a panda from China for $4.5 million and they can take it back whenever they like. And I don't think zoos are as popular as they used to be for like days out. When I was a kid, we did school trips to London Zoo, or parents or whoever would take me to the zoo. You'd go to the zoo for the day. Around here, it'd be Banham Zoo, purely just to watch people getting poop thrown at them by the chimpanzees. Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near as popular as it used to be. Probably because it's now an expensive day out. It used to be relatively cheap, and now they charge a small fortune. Yeah, backed out for obvious reasons. Yeah, I don't have $9 million to get a pair of pandas and millions to feed them every year. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's supply and demand, isn't it? If people are willing to pay it, they'll charge it. If everyone went, yeah, no, we're not paying that much, we'll give you 1 million, then they'd either lose all the money or have to take a quarter of the money. Again, getting back to the rant I had about the bike industry before anyone actually turned up. Yes, anyone a bit late, I spent the first 27 minutes talking to myself. So if you want to see someone filling and waffling for that long, watch the replay, or at least the first half hour of it. Yeah, if you're going to pay that much, you want to own it. I saw in a YouTube compilation type video where they're generally just taking mickey out of people being dumb. There was someone who'd leased a car, had a car lease, and couldn't understand why, when the lease was up, they wanted to take back the car. They thought they owned the car. No, you're leasing it. It's not. No, you're renting the car long term. And I think in the end, yeah, they were all confused and upset about that. I was like, what part of lease did you not understand? It's a relatively simple concept to grasp. It's like the people who get themselves into tens of thousands of debt on credit cards and loans and stuff. And then it all comes crashing down. They're like, what do you mean I've got to pay it all back? I can't afford to pay all that back. Yeah, you're screwed. You're either going to have to declare bankruptcy or pay it back. And good luck buying anything like a house or getting another loan or credit if you've been declared bankrupt. It's basically prove to everyone that you won't pay them back. Yeah, it's. I think you can even struggle to get a mobile phone contract if you've been made bankrupt. Crazy, I know, but yeah, there's people who still don't understand these things. What other interesting ones did I see this week? Oh, while we got a few of you here, here's one that might make you feel sick and it might blow your mind. It's not gross, well, kind of, but apparently chlorinated water does not smell. There might be a slight chemically smell to it, but chlorinated water doesn't smell, basically. So when you go to the pool and it smells chlorine-y, you think, it's not chlorine that you're smelling. What's happened is the chlorine has reacted with ammonia in the water and produced chloramine, which expels a hydrogen atom out of the chlorine or hydrogen, whichever, chlorine or ammonia, whichever one, but it expels a hydrogen atom. And what you're smelling is the hydrogen in the air. Fair enough, Sharpe. That's fairly basic chemistry. We get that one with fish keepers. We understand about water and chlorine and these things, and ammonia. How does ammonia get into a swimming pool? Well, I mean, we all secrete it in our sweat and what have you, but that's a tiny amount. So the reason that sometimes a swimming pool will smell of chlorine nastiness is because, yes, Ricky and Mark, g'day Mark, yes, People have been peeing in the pool. That's what you're smelling. It's the hydrogen coming off of people's pee in the pool. So yeah, if you go to the pool and it smells very chlorine-y, as we would know it, don't get in the water. It's just full of old person and kiddie pee. The reason I have debit cards and no credit cards. Yeah, I'm debit card, no credit cards. If I can't afford it, I don't buy it. It's that simple. As I say, yeah, we were just talking about Barras and Yowies, Mark, so you obviously overheard us. Your ears were burning. You were referred to again as the Baron of Barras and the Yeater of Yowies by me. And Adele and I had to explain what a Yowie was. I think Bunyip is probably the more famous Aussie cryptid. Plenty of others, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Yeah, if you can't afford it, save up and then get it. Okay, there are some things you can't really go without. So you say the washing machine packs up and you need to get a new washing machine, but you don't have the funds. Then you might have to get out a small loan to get a new washing machine or get the washing machine on finance. But you pay that off as soon as you can to get rid of that debt, because then you don't have to think about it anymore. I mean, I had a friend who bought 2 leather reclining sofas and an armchair. He bought them on interest-free or 1 year's interest-free credit. Right? So that's interest-free credit for 1 year. Well, what happens after 1 year and 1 day is they put the full interest on there and send you a really snotty letter. And he hadn't been paying. He hadn't been paying them off. So he got a very big bill come through that he really wasn't expected. Howdy, Homer. You heard about the Yowie. Yeah. Who knows? The Yowie might be God. We have no proof to say it isn't. Same as we have no proof to say it is. There's an equal possibility that it is and it isn't, because we have no data on the fact. Yeah. It's like a Schrodinger's deity. Probably something that costs more than the initial. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Oh, I can get this thing. I only pay $100 or £100 a month. Oh, yeah, that's good. I'll get that. Yeah, then you look at how much you're actually going to end up paying, and it usually ends up about double what you would have paid if you just saved up for a bit, scrimped and scraped, and I mean, I had one loan shortly after I moved in. Money was very tight, and I did need a few things like a washing machine and a fridge, and because the ones I bought, well, the fridge was okay, but like the washing machine, I bought them both second hand for like £5. So the fact they even worked at all was a bonus. Yeah, I had to replace them because they died. And they're old, so you couldn't get the bits for them anymore. I was like, right, I need to. So yeah, I was like, well, it's going to cost me that much for a new washing machine, but there are a few other things I would like to get, or I say like to get, not need, but by then I was sick of sitting on a folding camping chair because that's all I had to sit on. So I got a loan for £1,000, I think it was. Again, we're going back over a quarter of a century. And yeah, got a new washing machine, sofa, a couple of armchairs. a few other bits, bed, general stuff I needed for the house, lawnmower, that kind of thing. And yeah, paid back. Now the minimum payments came out the payments came out every month for, was it a year? Or did I have 2 year? I think I had it over 2 years. Yeah, that's how it is when you first move out. You've got nothing. The only furniture you have that is yours may have been what was in your bedroom. And as I went from foster care to being in digs, I literally had nothing. So yeah, when I first moved in, I had like my hi-fi on a hi-fi stand. I had my TV, which was it on the floor at first? I think, yeah, it was on the floor at first. I had a Super Nintendo, and as I say, I bought myself a dirt cheap washing machine and fridge, even cheaper table and chair to sit at to eat, which is, the table is still upstairs actually. Hello, Bun Bun, darling. How are you? Hug. Mwah. Long wait is over. Don't know if it's good. That's still hospitals. Time frame, a few weeks max. I've got access to all the bank accounts and deposits. I'm showing that I'm happy. Yay! I mean, good news for you, bad news for your dad. I mean, I'm sure we all hope your dad lasts longer. But, these things, say it's, my neighbour's wife passed a few weeks ago. The big C word. But, I think she might have come back. Because when I brought Pippa back from her walk the other day, what day would it have been? Thursday? Maybe Friday? Can't remember. But when we got back, rather than doing the wanting fusses and snuggles and then going and having a sleep like Pippa normally does, she sat there staring up the stairs. Staring up the stairs. No, both the cats were downstairs, so she weren't looking at a cat. And I couldn't see anyone. So I just said hello and how are you? Hope all is well and blah, blah, blah. And carried on. Just in case she's come back. I haven't told my neighbour that yet, though. I don't know how I would approach or broach the subject. He got rather freaked out when I told him that Zach the cat. I will get this worked out one week, which way I'm pointing. When I told him that Zach was still around after he had passed, he got a bit freaked out by that. So probably not the best idea to tell him his wife's come back as well. Hello, Donna, my dear. How are you? Hug. And in no way did anyone refer to you as a dinosaur earlier. That was purely coincidental and accidental, and no one actually meant it. But I'll take the blame. Yeah, I know. Oh, pardon me. So egg mayonnaise again. They're going to love me at work tomorrow, aren't they? Because I've got egg mayo for tea tonight as well. Yay! I bought a tub of it when I went shopping, so I've got to eat it before it goes out of date. Because can you imagine what out of date egg mayonnaise would do to my belly? Oh, I'd make Attleborough a no-go zone. Oh, such a lovely bun bun. Yeah, so dead neighbours, blah, blah, blah. So where were we before I swear I'm like Billy Connolly. I, except I go off on some tangent and then can't remember where I started from. So there we go. Must be an age thing. Yeah, getting a loan. That's where it was. Yeah, so I got said loan and paid it back with again before it was due to be paid back. Purely because I didn't like having a loan. I don't like being in debt. Um, and let's say the mortgage was what dragons have I been slaying lately? Uh, None, unfortunately. I mean, there's been a few customers who are kind of dragon-like that I've fancied slaying or wanted to run through with a sword. Uh, but working retail, that's just a generalised thing for everyone. I'm sure anyone who's ever worked retail knows exactly what I mean. Um, but yeah, it's been many a year since I was rolling D20s. Let's put it that way. That's the Dungeons and Dragons reference if you've never played. Run out of drink, but we only got a few minutes left, so I'll soldier through. Um, yeah, God, it has been a long time since I played D&D or AD&D or TMNT or Call of Cthulhu or Rifts or Shadowrun or Vampire Masquerade or any of the RPGs, the tabletop RPGs, not the computery ones. Probably about the same amount of time since I played a tabletop war game as well. So there is that. You know, much as I enjoy building and painting the figures and the models for the war games, have I got what? Have I got it in me to paint dozens of things exactly the same way? Probably not anymore. Plus, they're just getting ridiculously expensive. And you're not allowed to use proxies anymore. There's no counts as. That's strictly against the rules. Has to be the correct model. Yeah, and I really don't fancy painting 100 skeletons or 30 Eldar Guardians or whatever, or an entire Necron army where everything is painted the same. No. Nope, not anymore. Not going to do that. Not fun. Too repetitive. Got better things to do with my time these days than that. Um, there, there are naps. I can always find something more interesting to do, whether it be a video to watch or a nap to have or just scratching my butt. Or uh, I'm sending your mum some love too, Bun. Hugs for the Bun mother. And extra hugs for the Bun as well. Well, hugs and a cheeky squeeze. Um, Because I'm pretty sure if I met Bun in real life, Ivy in real life. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be too upset if I gave you a massive hug and a smooch, would you? I think I'll probably safely get away with that without getting accused of anything untoward. Although at this point, I think probably the only one who's probably the only person who I could hug and squeeze their butt is probably Tommy. I'd get away with doing that with Tommy. I don't think I'd get away with anyone else if I did that. No, actually, there is someone else, Marriott. If I met Marriott and gave her a big hug, I'd probably get away with squeezing her butt as well. But you can always have a hug from me, Bum Bum. You always have a hug and a smoochie. So it's rolling a last minute ciggy, so I've got something when I turn off, which will be any minute now. St. Mom. Bet you give the best hugs. Keep your hands off my butt, though. Will do. But yeah, apparently I do give good hugs. Something to do with being fairly soft and squishy and warm, generally. You got to remember, Bun, some of us saw that video you took down. The one with the unfortunate reflection in. And on that note, before I make Bungo completely red, thank you everyone for being here. If you want to watch something truly painful, go back and watch the first half hour of the stream when no one was here. Yes, I talked to myself for half an hour. Well, there are, but generally you're getting a lot more trouble for grabbing those targets, Mark, in my experience. But have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. Hug your loved ones for me. Give your doggos a scratch behind the ears. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Ooh.